The Battle of Quảng Trị, 1972. Day 1, the beginning of the storm. That day, the heat of the Vietnamese summer hit us hard. The air was thick, oppressive, as we moved through the narrow roads leading into Quảng Trị. I could feel the weight of the atmosphere, like the calm before the storm. I was just a kid, freshly deployed to Vietnam, naive, thinking it would all be over in a few months. But the moment we set foot in Quảng Trị, I knew this would be different. No one spoke much, the kind of silence that feels too heavy, like everyone was waiting for something to happen. We were traveling through some back roads, small villages and fields stretching on either side, when the first explosion shattered the quiet. The ground shook beneath our boots, and the air was filled with the unmistakable sound of enemy fire. We were ambushed. The North Vietnamese Army, NVA, had caught us off guard. The sound of gunfire rained down on us from every direction. Instantly, chaos erupted. My heart raced as I ran, looking for cover. Bullets whizzed past my head, the deafening noise of explosions filling my ears. I didn't have time to think, I just acted. I dove into the nearest building, a crumbling house, hoping to catch my breath, but it felt like I was drowning in gunfire. "Move, move!" Jack, my closest buddy, shouted. I looked up, but before I could react, a bullet grazed my arm. I hit the ground hard, pain coursing through my body, but there was no time to dwell on it. Jack pulled me up, and we bolted to the back of the house, finding shelter behind some thick walls. My hands were shaking, but I had to keep moving. Had to keep fighting. The NVA didn't stop. They kept pushing forward. We could hear their voices through the walls, shouting orders, moving like ghosts through the smoke and dust. It felt like being hunted, always looking over my shoulder, not knowing where the next shot would come from. And then, there it was. A sharp crack, a moment of silence, and suddenly a mine exploded right near us. I was thrown off my feet, my ears ringing, and I saw nothing but flashes of light. When I came to, everything was a blur. I looked up, blood dripping from my ear and shoulder, and saw Jack running toward me, his face pale. "Stay with me," he yelled, pulling me up once again. We kept moving, despite the pain, despite the fear. I couldn't hear much anymore, but I could still feel the pounding of my heart. We made our way to a safer spot, but the sound of NVA troops closing in was unmistakable. I knew that if we didn't act soon, we wouldn't make it out. Day 2, the brutality of war. By the second day, the situation had only gotten worse. We were surrounded from all sides. The NVA had outflanked us, and every time we thought we had found cover, they seemed to be one step ahead. Our strategy was simple. Hold the line, fight back when we could, and wait for reinforcements. But we weren't getting reinforcements fast enough. We couldn't retreat. We had to push forward. It was the only way to survive. The NVA was relentless, using guerrilla tactics that made them invisible in the dense brush. I had never fought a war like this. It wasn't about tanks or heavy artillery. It was about small squads of soldiers, moving in and out of the jungle, appearing when you least expected them. It was like trying to fight ghosts. Another close call. We were moving cautiously when suddenly a shot rang out, and one of the guys in my squad went down. I rushed to him, but he was already gone. It all happened so quickly. One second he was with us, the next he was lying there, lifeless. "God damn it, no," I shouted, but there was no use. I had to keep my focus, or I'd end up just like him. That thought haunted me as I got back into the fight. I moved up to a position with the rest of the team, where we could get a better shot at the advancing NVA forces. But as I peered around a corner, I saw them. Dozens of NVA soldiers moving in our direction. I had no choice but to open fire. The sound of my rifle felt like it echoed for miles. The NVA returned fire, their shots grazing the walls and narrowly missing us. I could feel the heat of the moment, the sweat dripping down my face, my hands clammy on the rifle. Every shot could be my last, but we held the line, barely. Day 3, the endless fight. On the third day, the NVA increased their attacks. They were everywhere. We couldn't keep up. Every time we tried to advance, they countered. Every time we found cover, they found a way to force us out. We were running low on supplies, low on ammo, and we were exhausted. There was nothing left but sheer willpower. In the middle of the day, as I was trying to help patch up one of the other guys, I felt the ground tremble beneath me. A mortar shell exploded right behind us, throwing me and several others to the ground. When I looked around, everything seemed to be on fire. My head was spinning. I saw bodies, some still twitching, others completely still. The smell of gunpowder and burning flesh filled my nostrils. I tried to stand up, but my legs wouldn't cooperate. Jack was shouting for me, his voice distant, but all I could do was stumble forward, trying to find some kind of cover. I heard more shots, louder now, closer. They were getting to us. "Move!" I heard Jack yell again, and somehow I found the strength to move, to keep going. As we regrouped, I caught a glimpse of an NVA soldier emerging from behind a stack of rubble. He saw me too. His rifle was raised, but before he could shoot, I squeezed the trigger, sending him sprawling to the ground. I couldn't afford to think about what I had just done. I had to survive. By the fourth day, we were no longer fighting for victory. We were just fighting to stay alive. The NVA had us cornered. We had to decide, stay and fight or run for our lives. But even if we ran, where could we go? Our reinforcements never came, and we knew the NVA would never stop until they had us. As the sun set, we huddled together, waiting for the inevitable. And then, out of nowhere, the order came. We were to retreat. I couldn't believe it. We were being pulled out, not because we had won, but because we had no other choice. We moved silently through the night, trying to avoid detection, but the weight of what we had just been through hung heavy on my shoulders. I looked around at the faces of the men I had fought beside, all of us weary, beaten down, but still alive, still breathing, for now. Those days in Quảng Trị, those moments of pain, fear, and loss, would stay with me forever.